What's going on, crime fighters? It's your boy, Knight.
And I am Logan.
And welcome back to the Film Cave, episode 11.
11, yes.
Wow, this is the first time you actually caught on. Welcome,
I remember
sir.
last time was 10.
Yeah, so welcome, sir. Welcome back to the Film Cave, your one-stop shop for any and all things film entertainment.
With a little bit of extra from this crazy guy and myself.
Yes, sir. All right, so today might be a relatively kind of quick show because, you know, we're dealing with real-life issues going on right now. So we're trying to hit the lightning while we can, or strike the lightning in the bottle. What the fuck is that shit called? Whatever. You get it? We're trying to work with what we got.
Yes.
Sir Logan is in ass Texas. And I only say ass Texas because ass is down there, whatever. Wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
I mean, it's run like ass right now.
Well, yeah, that is true from what I hear. But He is getting smacked with the day after tomorrow. So first of all, before we get started, how are you feeling? How are you holding up? What's going on? Are you safe? What's happening?
I mean, I'm good. Like me personally, I'm good. My house is good. I have power. Like if this just shuts off, it's because they cut my power, basically. But I'm the only person with a house in my family that has power right now. So it looks like I might be becoming a motel here tonight. It's quite possible. And then God forbid, then I lose power because then we'll all just be, you know, laying in the floor of the living room with the fireplace on, you know, trying to stay alive. My parents stayed in their house last night. It hit 0 degrees. They said the thermostat said 39 at one point in their house. And like they have a fireplace that has not been used in like 25 years. And my dad just had to go outside and start breaking like frozen tree limbs off and just make wood that he could burn. So it's the craziest time right now where our cities are not used to this. People are losing power. People are losing water because water plants don't have power. It's a whole thing. And we're trying to make it. So it's pretty crazy. And, you know, because I got into like a DM fight yesterday with this guy that was like calling me a bitch because I said on Twitter that I wouldn't drive in the snow and the ice. And he was like, and I was like, hey man, I was like, y'all have salted roads and shit. Like we don't have salt trucks. We don't like, they come out and try to throw gravel sometimes, but like that's on main roads. And that's if they can get the trucks to those roads, and they haven't. Like, so, I mean, it's been crazy, to say the least. We've got snow, like 3-day-old snow out there, and it's on top of ice from Thursday because we have not been over 32 degrees since before that. So it's crazy. We're trying to make it. But we're recording this for the people at home. We're recording this early. John came in clutch, let me record this early because we might have some shit going on later, and I wouldn't have had time. So
either your fucking house is about to come refuge or you about to get purged. Whichever one.
Very true.
Just be ready. Just be ready for both. So if anybody's seeking refuge, you can go to Logan's house at 155.
I got a little bit of refuge.
Right. All right. So again, if you're new, thank you. And we, you know, appreciate you guys watching us on playback because we're not yet live, but we will be. The clock is winding down.
We're so close.
Live, yes. Once my copyright strike has been lifted. That's the only reason why this has been held back. I'm not a procrastinator, I promise. So those of you that are new, me and Logan, we're pretty nerdy pair of motherfuckers, I would say. Which we love talking about film. We could do it all day. But sometimes, you know, there's a few other things we like to talk about that we're passionate about that just so happen to not be film. Film may work its way back in there, but we have our segment called Out There in the World. And this is where me and Logan tackle whatever the hell we want to, whatever's on our mind, whatever's going on in the world. So, in traditionary fashion, Sir Logan, do you have anything you want to speedball real quick that's on your mind?
The only thing really is, in terms of the world of NBA, I just wanted to kind of like, at first I was going to be selfish, but this is about the All-Star break. We don't need to have an all-star break. It's coming up, and I feel so like I love hearing people on podcasts and like people talking like the players do not want to be selected because they want to have some sort of a break. Yeah. And like I feel so sorry for these guys, like especially the guys that went late in the playoffs last season, and they like, you know, Lakers and Heat had 2 months of off season. And so I've been watching a lot of like podcasts and stuff with basketball players, and like how all of them are like dreading like even like talking about like JJ Redick and Duncan Robinson talking about how like they hope they don't get an invite to the 3-point contest because they're competitive and they will want to do it, but also like they really don't want to have to go deal with all that. So I think it would be nice if we just gave them a little break, but apparently not, because they came out and said today, where is it? I can't even remember where it is.
Dude, I haven't been following it. All I know is that KD and LeBron are number one on both sides. That's all I know.
And all I know is that whoever's like the mayor of the city it's going to be in just came out today and was, it's Atlanta. And he was like, hey, this is a for TV event only. Please don't try to come to the arena. We're not letting fans in, whatever. And it's like, obviously, but like, why not just not do it? Like,
postpone the bitch.
It's a crazy time. Let's just not have one this year because it's not that big of a deal. We just started the season 2 months ago. So like not even 2 months ago. So it's like we don't need that break yet. Give them a break. Anyway, I just thought that was something.
I agree. I know LeBron is like the biggest advocate for that right now. He's like, I told him I'm not happy. I told him I don't want the shit. They still did it. So it's like I know he's been clamoring on about it, and it's like I agree. You threw these bastards right back in off the heels of an already fucked up, drug out season.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm just going back and forth, and then finally did it. We got it. It's like, okay, guess what, guys? We're starting right back up. It's like, wait, what? So it's like, okay, so I don't think we need one right now. I don't think any players are in their mindset to give us something that's just like, oh my god. Because I don't want to do that either. We just got some kind of a fucking remnants of a great All-Star weekend last year. That was like, finally, and just to get smacked in the mouth with a fucking horrible one now. I'm like, no, we were just on the right track. Let's postpone it, push forward.
That's exactly how I feel. Because like last one, we actually had like some competitiveness again, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was. And then, now I almost don't want them to be competitive. Like, just y'all go out there and have fun if you're out there, because
it was controversy, but it was fucking competitive.
I don't know, man. It's kind of, this is an interesting season. Like, I was just hearing, I started a podcast with Doc Rivers, and he was talking about how like we're going on the road. We're the only people staying in the hotel, the whole hotel. But even with that, they're sneaking us in the back door, and we're going up service elevators. And he's like, it's the weirdest thing. And I don't know. It's just funny. Like, these people have to go like re-quarantine in Atlanta for this weekend, and like all this. I don't know. I just think that we should just give them a freaking break, because I don't care about it. Yeah,
I don't either. Just postpone it. I just got an alert from like CNN like the other day, like saying how cases are like not as high anymore and kind of dropping down a little bit, and kind of like, so we're making progression in that. Just postpone, wait it until you can start trickling some people in, or it's safe to do it again, or just wait till next year.
Right.
I mean, because we're in that wave, because Super Bowl completely said fuck it and just had the whole stadium full, and apparently motherfuckers is all right. You don't hear no shit coming from that. So I mean, I don't know. It's just not smart
crazy
right now. Yeah, it's tough. I don't have any news. Like I said, my day has been all over the damn place. So I don't have anything to do. So I think that's a pretty quick
out there in the world.
Out there in the world. Not much out there in the world. If there is, we just didn't take the time to cover it today. Sorry. That's what you get.
We've got some good main topics though.
Right. Well, that's what you get. We, stumble upon the film kit. We keep shit real here. Ain't nothing edited. Ain't nothing like, we're live. We're in the shit. That's how it works.
That's correct.
Sorry. But before we get into our main topics of the evening, guys, if you're new, if you like what you're seeing here, if you want to join, be a part of the conversation, and as well, be a part of our future shows have the input for our liveness,
Yeah.
hit that subscribe button. It's really simple. That is the cheapest way to support us. It's the easiest way to support us. And here, Crime Fighter Nation, we make you feel like you are worthy. You're with us, man. A lot of people just like, hey, follow us. We don't care. Da, 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 da. No, you're part of us. All right, you're in the conversation. Your family. All right, so which one do we want to go first? I was kind of like, I think the cut should be the main because we have like, that's a lot to talk about.
I agree. I think WandaVision, WandaVision first.
Cool and gang. So, WandaVision
Hey,
premiered with its 6th episode.
the Halloween spooktacular.
I know I say this every goddamn week. And it's their fault for making me say it. This is my favorite fucking episode.
So good, man.
Because it's a lot of things, but the main thing is this was the most nostalgic for me. And I'm sure you as well. And a lot of people out there. This had my best and favorite TV reference, show reference, absolute with Malcolm in the Middle. I absolutely died the minute I saw the camcorder. I was like, oh my God. Absolutely loved it. And it kept that thematic, tone all throughout it. It kept, with the 90s music, with the little intercuts and stuff like that. I was like, oh, absolutely love this. Pedro was a regular. So Evan Peters was all up in this bitch, causing havoc, causing grief, just everyone. I absolutely loved it. We can dive more into that later in terms of theories and what we think. Vision got a little curious. He was like, listen, fuck Halloween. Y'all do you. I'm gonna handle this over here. Figure out exactly what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
He went about town, saw some shit, ran into Agnes, who was also on some shit. And we got to know the twins a lot better.
Yeah.
Finally got to see some powers from them. Pretty badass powers. Wiccan came in clutch. The director's a dick. Like, full on dick. Monica and Jimmy and Darcy took matters into their own hands. Vision got what he wanted. He broke free.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly what he wanted after he broke free. Which was sad. I'm getting tired of seeing this fucking man die. I'm like,
It's crazy.
I'm like, man, to this day, I don't think anybody besides Thor has been through most shit
Right.
than Vision. I'm like,
And he's been around like just a few years.
right. He's like,
a couple years old.
He's still a baby Avenger, like, and this motherfucker, I feel so bad. Wanda pulled some Ultra G shit. She expanded. But she expanded, like, this bitch said, I need some acres. Like,
Yeah.
like, please. But yeah, man, this episode was absolutely phenomenal. Everybody just brought in amazing performances. It amped up the creep factor, amped up the story. I want to know who the fuck Monica is about to go meet.
Yeah. It's a good question.
There's so much. This is the most bleakest and darkest goddamn commercial cut we've had so far.
Oh my God. It was crazy.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this fucking referencing? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let me know, and then we can start theorizing all other shit. Let me know what you thought.
Sure. I mean, no, this episode was phenomenal. It was really the one that we've all been waiting for in terms of the most exciting from the trailers that we saw is, them in their comic accurate outfits and costumes, and like that ended up working out beautifully. I loved that Pietro got the OG Quicksilver on, and
with the hair and all that.
Yeah, and also I loved how Wiccan started the episode with his comic accurate. I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Like they're going all in and it's working. I love how they grounded even, Scarlet Witch's costume is like from Sokovia. It's like a Sokovia witch or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
Fortune teller.
Fortune teller. There you go. I thought that was awesome, but no, this episode, I really really like it because it somewhat like gave us some answers, but then also brought us so many more questions, and the speculation train is going to be rolling here in a little bit. But no, yeah. In terms of like one question that I loved that I got answered was, you know, unlike Monica's pants and her costume, if Vision walks out that gate, he's not sticking around. There's something up with that. You know, he will die.
He was getting shredded immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I liked how his pieces started getting pulled back in. Like they were like, hey, most of you is this. You know, I liked that. And then yeah, we got to see Wanda do some shit there at the end. And yeah, I wish that we could have seen more. But
so
obviously,
that's when it ended right there.
I mean, obviously, it's one of those things because that's the other thing too is going back to what Paul Bettany said in the press tour. He said episode 7 was the wildest. Like that was like the one that people was going to lose their shit. And so like this cliffhanger, I'm like, God, I'm like, come on, man, like let's get it. So I know there's going to be some good stuff. So I'm excited. I think it set up it was a softball throw, and they're about to just knock this thing out of the park with the wow factor, I think.
And I hate that it's been a week.
I know, but it's I'll tell you, with all this snowstorm and cold shit this week, I can't believe it's already Tuesday. For me, it's been going by. It's been crazy, but I've watched this episode multiple times. I can tell you that, and it's a good ass episode. I love before she expands. I love how she fucks up Pietro.
Yeah, because that was a big statement.
Because he's and I was like, yeah, that's what you get. That's right, and yeah, man. If you wanna get into some speculation, first of all, have no idea who Monica's meeting. That's one that there really is no way to know.
Right.
Will it be a reveal, or will it just kind of be a new character that we're like, oh, cool? I don't know. It could be either. They could be setting up something for Captain Marvel 2 or Secret Invasion or this or that. So they could wow us with a fucking Reed Richards or something. But I don't know. I honestly don't put my cards in that hat. But
Luke Skywalker level, that could be it. Or
I mean, sure. The fact that they've announced a Fantastic Four movie does tell me, and a director tells me, hey, we might already have plans for some things. So it's possible, but I don't put my cards in it. And then yeah, also Agnes is definitely a bad guy, and then Quicksilver, Pietro is definitely not Pietro, and that's oh my god.
So regarding Agnes,
okay, here's
the thing.
What you got?
There's two possibilities.
Sure.
Here. One, I was a very sound, what is it? Mind, body, and sound. Tell you that this bitch is not a part of it.
Sure.
Cause I was like, listen, she's freaking out. Vision unlocked her true self, her fully and all that good shit. She's freaking out. She's like, yo, this bitch Wanda's got us on lock. We can't even think. Like, all of that. But then I thought, I was like, what is the subtle convenience that she's just chilling by the border that Vision is just so adamantly curious about. So I'm like, that could be her way. I'm like, let me conjure up whatever little powers I have in me to just get here. I know I'm gonna lose my shit immediately, but that'll be a good plant. To be like, hey, she won't let us leave. That'll get Vision curious to step the fuck outside.
Yeah.
And cause some shit. And I thought about that as well. So I'm like, I'm on the fence of where I stand with her. Because I don't know, she seemed very helpless and lost in the sauce like everybody else, but because of her powers, she still can kind of be whatever. Because even on the edge of power, everybody's stuck. She can still formulate some kind of.
So that's
sentences.
That's my main thing that makes me think that she's different, at least. And I might be looking at it too logically and be like, oh, they definitely wouldn't have wrote this way unless it was on purpose. They might have. But it is the thing of, You go out in the outside rim of, Westview, and people are frozen. They're not able to move. They're stuck. They can't talk. They can't blink, like nothing. And
that was disturbing to see.
But she's able to kind of talk. She's in like a trance type thing, but she's talking. And I'm like, hey, why is she talking? Like if she was normal, she wouldn't be talking. And so I really do think that she is, she's an actress. She's playing along in how she wants to act. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's because I also saw somebody say, this is the first episode. I think they said that this is like the first time we see her without that pendant thing.
Pause.
What you got?
I was gonna bring that up now too.
Go ahead.
There's another reason why I don't think she's as involved as we think she is.
Okay. Because
minute she came to, this bitch immediately clutched her pearls and was like, "You're my dad." Whatever. She clutched her pearls because she didn't have her shit around her neck, which also, take two, rumors may be, contains the soul of Mephisto. So I'm like, if she's coming to like, oh, like, am I dead? Am I gone? I no longer have a hold? Like, are we free? Like, this motherfucker's not around my neck no damn more. Like, he's free. Like, what is happening? Because ever since the twins came, there's no need for this shit. So it's like, that's what makes me think she's not in control.
Sure.
Fully. And that's why she's like, oh, now just hope it's fucking lost. This bitch is running rampant. This motherfucker's not around my neck. He's free. Now we're just screwed. So that's also what I'm thinking. That's why she's hot.
And I don't know. For some reason, that makes me. I'm on the other side of that because I think that it does. I think because she starts freaking out, and it's because she doesn't have that anymore, and so she is scared because Mephisto's out doing some crazy shit. And what if this happens? What if that happens? So she's worried about him when she gets out of that WandaVision mindset. But then the other thing that makes me, I do think that she is, at least something is not right with her, is "you're dead," like starts screaming at him, and then the witch laugh. It's like, she's still in she's not in the trance. That's her real self, and she's laughing like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, I just think that's just her natural.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. That's why I'm like, she's crazy. And so I don't know. It's gonna be very, very interesting. I think that next episode we're gonna get some like massive reveals. At least I'm hoping so. But like, and then also when it comes to Pietro, did you see what I posted on Twitter about the Funko Pops? Did you see that thing?
No, I avoided that.
So, I have a Funko Pop right there. It's Grogu. But so on the Funko Pops, like,
I thought that's what you said. It said on his Funko Pop. I was like, he's Grogu this whole time.
Grogu, man, shapeshifter.
Right, damn it, Grogu.
But no, so on the Funko Pops for their name, like for Wanda, it says like Wanda Halloween in parentheses, and like, for Vision, like back in the day, it says like 70s Vision, things like that. For Pietro's Halloween Funko Pop, it says Pietro Maximoff in quotes. So it's like, this is supposed to be Pietro Maximoff. And I'm like they have to name it that because it comes out before the show is finished. So they have to like be in continuity, so because people have to be able to buy it after reveals happen. And so that's what they did. Just like how that over there says the child, and we now know that that's Grogu. Like they have to like kind of play along. So it's Pietro Maximoff in quotes. And I was like, that alone is like enough of a reveal for me. Like he is most and I'm almost sad because I want some like of the Fox Quicksilver scenes again. I want it so bad. But also
maybe he will be, maybe he is that Pietro, but under the influence of Mephisto or somebody. And then once all things clear up, maybe that will end up being that Quicksilver pulled out of that reality that we know and will end up being our Quicksilver. So there's a lot of possibilities that could still end up being, I don't know. That's the beauty and craziness of this fucking show.
Correct.
Anything, and I mean goddamn anything, is possible on this show.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. And what is the director holding out? Why is he just specifically targeting Vision?
I don't know, man.
Can this really be the Ultron theory that we're thinking of?
I am starting to think it's possible.
Like, can this really be that? Like,
because it really was.
Like, what is it?
It's something because he's tracking Vision. We obviously didn't get to learn what it means, but the final firewall that only his eyes can go is Project Cataract, which is like Vision Cataract. It's like something up with that because it also does make sense. Somebody was asking me, it'll be so cheap if they bring Ultron back because there's no way. And I was like, and I'm like, where's the one place that there's still a piece of Ultron? In Vision.
Right.
That's what they've said all along is, in Infinity War, they're trying to take the stone out. He's not only the stone, he's not only Ultron, Bruce, Tony, like
Ultron.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there's a piece of him in there.
But how did he get out? That's the thing. How did we get out to take form of the director?
Well, so I look at, I don't know if he has to be the director necessarily, because Monica does know him. So I don't know if he has to be the director, but I think that there is a possibility that they are bringing him back, possibly even unknowingly. And just strictly the fact of, there's a small piece of Ultron in Vision, and they don't know. They start hooking Vision into stuff, trying to turn him into a weapon. And now he's hooked up to, the internet, networks, whatever. He's immediately in Sword's databases just off the bat, like he couldn't already, but you're plugging him into it. So I do think that, it's not a stretch at all to say that Ultron
already.
Right.
He had a body and dissected and all that shit. He could have already.
Right. And so, I think that Ultron is out there and he's doing some stuff already. Is he the director? Possibly. Because we've seen different things that can, Ultron can be in a million places at once.
Right.
Once he does that. And also, Ultron is like kind of known for that. Like in the comics, that's kind of the point of Ultron, is he comes back.
Right.
Because he's AI.
Several times.
And so I'm not actually upset about that. Like
I loved Ultron.
Yeah, bringing James Spader back would be freaking awesome.
Yes, it would.
And yeah, I loved him, and also I think we didn't get enough of him, even though So I would love to see more of him for sure, and expand on that, because also talk about pissing Wanda off.
All right, talk about some
that's who killed your Pietro. So it's like, man, that'd be cool, man. I would dig it. So, because also how like he's like, man, he really does want out. Like it's like he wants Vision because Vision is like his child. Like he's my Vision. So I don't know. It's possible.
His disdain, hate for fucking superpowered beings.
Yeah.
And, like, all that shit, because he laid it all out on the table. While Monica, they brought up her mom. I was like, we need to get punched in the mouth.
Oh my god, he was such an asshole.
Yeah.
But it also that right there was like, I really do think that the season finale, or like the series finale, final scene could be Wanda going like, oh, you want to get rid of people with superpowers? Yeah. All right, watch this, and just bang, and
turns the whole world red.
And anybody that has that mutant X gene, boom, they have this Mind Stone, radiation on them, and they are now mutants.
Because she's fucking with Monica now.
Monica is.
Here's my thing. She wasn't too surprised or like phased by it.
It's interesting.
It makes me think, and I've had this theory before, that she already has some kind of shit.
Sure.
Already.
Sure.
And Wanda now is just tapping into that bitch and just rewriting and like expanding upon that. Because I already think she already has some kind of shit that she knows about. It may not be her full powers, but some kind of inkling of it, or she knows something's wrong with her.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Because Darcy's like, bitch, she rewrote your code like twice already.
Yeah.
Like, you need to figure it out. Like, I don't know. And we obviously know, or we saw from previews, way back when Monica does take that fucking G.I. Joe truck and goes fucking face forward into that bitch. So she's ignoring all of it. So I don't know.
It'll be interesting for sure. Because even when I first saw that CAT scan, I was even wondering if she was a Skrull, and like it couldn't get through the skin or something. So I don't. But I know I don't think that makes sense because we need Monica to become her superhero and whatever. Right. So I don't really think that makes sense. But they could go so many routes here. But man, we're gonna be getting some shit next episode. I already know it. And then they did announce they're going to do a making of documentary the weekend, like the Friday in between the finale of this and the premiere of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're gonna get a making of. I want that for every Marvel project for the rest of time. Like the fact that I don't have
it is because that's what's said, right?
Yeah, but like the fact that I don't have a 5-hour making of documentary of Infinity War and Endgame makes me want to cry. Like I would be obsessed with that.
Wow.
Why
I didn't do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the special features on Infinity War and Endgame are massively lacking.
Whack.
So it almost makes me feel like they're holding out something possible. But
again, cultural fucking milestone.
It's the biggest ever.
Right.
It's the biggest movie ever.
And you don't show a behind the scenes documentary or something about that? You're bugging.
Correct.
So I don't know. It's wild sauce. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. So anything else you want to touch on about Miss Wanda Sir Vision?
No, I'm ready.
Yes. So that's our thoughts, guys. I'll wrap up on this week's episode of Wandavision. Let us know what you think in the comment sections below. Keep the conversations going. I'm seeing, the more and more we put these videos out, the more interactive you guys are getting. We already know this is going to be a very slow build to get this show kind of out there, recognized, seen, but you guys are keeping it strong. You're talking about it below. A few of you, but we'll keep building. It's good signs, and we thank you guys for sticking along for that. Again, if you are new, subscribe. Takes a finger, clicks right there, boom.
You're good.
Part of the Crime Fighter Nation, exactly. And hit the notification bell to be reminded when a new episode drops every Wednesday, which we're going to talk about that since we're going to be going live soon. We'll talk about that off camera. Yeah, we'll talk about that off camera. But, so yes. Be a part of that. All right. Now for our main topic of the evening, the one I am so excited.
Are you sure you're excited?
I don't know. I didn't believe that. I'm so excited. Zack Snyder, you son of a bitch. So the Snyder cut of the Justice League dropped. And drop it did. To surprisingly very positive receivings. So we won't play the trailer. I'm sure you've all seen it 1,000,000 times. Even though I want to, but it can tend to get a little sketchy on here when we do. We'll save all that for when we're actually live and we're gonna watch it all with you in person and all that good shit. It drops, and there's a lot to take away. One, this is a whole new movie, essentially. We're just gonna call it what it is. It's a new movie. There's snippets of shit we already know and we've seen, yes, but it's a brand new fucking movie. It's 4 hours of shit, and they showed a lot of shit we have not seen in this trailer. We have an amazing look at Darkseid. That was pretty damn badass. That whole throne room or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
It's just immaculate. Yes, it was. The music! Oh, Jesus. The music in that trailer was absolutely phenomenal. I had goosebumps all through that shit. I'm getting them now thinking about it. Those of you that don't know, I am a sucker. A sucker for trailer music. Like, I just damn near call me a bitch for it. That's the main thing to pull me into a trailer is your music. Oh my God. And that did it. What else we got? We saw more brutality from Steppenwolf. We saw a lot more
Batmobile.
The Bat Tank, which I already knew about because you didn't watch the little clips that they've shown.
No.
Prior to it, which was smart. I should have done that. But I'm glad I did, because in the trailer, they didn't show the Bat Tank as full and as expanded out as they did in the clip. So I'd have been like, wait, what's that?
That's exactly what I noticed too, because of course I went back and was like, I watched them because I was able to unmute everything about Snyder Cut on Twitter after that. And yeah, I was sitting there going, why is this a better shot than what I got in the trailer? Because it's a longer, like I can kind of really look at it. It's not just like a split second view.
Because I would not have known that was the Dark Knight Returns tank in that trailer. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Because I lost my fucking shit and more when I realized that was the Dark Knight Returns Batmobile. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Where are we at? Are we getting mutants? Are we getting that? What's happening? Like, I was everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was great. We got an amazing shot of First Flight number 2 in the black suit with Superman, which was great. We find out that the death of Superman literally let out a cry to the world.
Yep.
That this man was dead and gone, which I found very interesting. I was like, wow, okay, yes, the bell has been officially rung. Lex, boom, got it. Context. Which was great. We already know about the Iris scene that we're getting, which looks a lot better and more polished up. We see that Cyborg is involved in the nightmare scene now.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Extended out. He is now part of the nightmare scene with his little 4 limbs and Gatling gun and all that other extra shit. I'm like, okay, do you, sir?
Sure.
I'm trying to think of all the stuff before we get to the main shit towards the end.
I mean, well, my favorite shot of the whole trailer is black suit Superman, laser eyes. Like when he I mean, he looks so fucking mad. And it is a thing. I don't want to always just shit on like Joss Whedon's Justice League, because there are things about it that I was like, I kind of liked how that made me feel. And like one of it, me either. I was like, this is a mess. But like I left the theater going, I'm actually kind of happy, and like
shit.
Right. And one thing that I really liked about it was, although he looked like hot garbage, Superman was hopeful and also a badass.
Yeah, and Superman was the most Superman he's been.
Yeah, but then also, this is different. Like just that one shot, the one shot that we have here, where he looks pissed, and like that is something we haven't actually seen in real life. Like we saw the Nightmare in BVS where he was like he's supposed to be a villain, like mad, and it was like, okay, this isn't actually happening yet, whatever. But then this is obviously in the final battle in the black suit. And he's fucking whoever it may be up. Whether it's Steppenwolf or Parademons or something. And like, that's the thing, is you can still be Superman and still look at a guy and be like, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Right.
And I'm down for that. And people, I'm Man of Steel. Everybody, but I love Man of Steel. And he had some emotion there. Like I still love whenever he fucking destroys that guy's like truck. And like, it's like, I'm like, yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that would happen. Yeah. And so that Superman shot fucking, like, I've been trying to find like wallpapers of it and shit. Like I wish that it was like a widescreen. I'm looking at it right now. I wish it was not a square, like true IMAX frame, because I want it framed wider so I could cut it down and make it my wallpaper on my computer. But that shot right there killed it for me, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a phenomenal shot, and it's like this did a really great job of getting me extremely hyped. So now I'm really excited for this movie. One, it just reminds me that Zack is getting his full vision, what he wanted out, and I'm really happy for that. This just looks like 4 hours of just an amazing visual orgasm, as Zack
Correct.
tends to do. And it's gonna be a lot of superhero goodness, a lot of realness, I was about to say that shit. About a realism. And my superheroes is grounded, it's real life, people saying fuck, and just all type of just goodness I'm excited for. I feel like this is what I should have been feeling in the first one.
Sure.
But obviously there were factors to prevent that. But now we're here. And then we get the crowning achievement, which I lost my goddamn mind. Because we spent 2 weeks talking about the sumbitch. And now we finally got to see him in action. One, I lost my shit because I was like, oh my god, fresh Batman suit footage. Oh my god. So there was that. And then it led into... That's a sexy ass Joker look.
Oh yeah.
I've grown. He's sitting on that fucking car with that M4, chilling. We live in a society. All of that. When he said Batman, that shit sent chills all up through me because we've never seen them interact.
Correct.
Let alone him saying Batman. Just the way he said it and just sounded, I was like, oh my god, it was beautiful. Absolutely loved it. So he's officially, obviously, we said like, oh, this looks very nightmarish. It was officially nightmarish that he is in, and I absolutely loved it. This is full circle. I don't need another trailer from here. This is it.
Yep.
I don't want to see no more teasers. I don't want to see no more nothing. You have America, Zack. You have everyone by the balls. Despite only people you don't have are the ones naturally bred to just hate this shit. That is it. That's the only ones you don't have. Like I've seen people do trailer reactions that aren't so fond of, Justice League and just natural hate towards it or whatever. That's just like, okay, bruh, like you're just doing a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you hate this trailer or don't like it or find like, this is just you. This is just you. So it's the only people you don't have, Zack, but we don't give a fuck about them. The people that do, you got everybody by the balls. Work it out. Don't fuck it up. I don't want to.
That's exactly my thing though. Is you have like somebody like me who was not super interested. I'm now very interested in seeing this vision, and now also my expectations are up. I'm going, holy shit, this might actually be great.
I'm good, right?
And so I'm like, so this is why it's still so crazy to me that this is happening, because there's only two options here. Either this movie is good or better, and it makes Warner Brothers look like absolute idiots.
Right. I hope it does that.
Right. And that's the best case scenario, because the worst case is this comes out and it's tragic and somehow terrible, and where do we go from here in terms of what happens to the online fandom if that happens? Like it will become the nightmare sequence if this movie is bad, because there will be diehard people that are like, it's masterpiece, and then there will be people who are like, hey, just trying to look at it.
That's what it'll stay referenced, because the diehard fans and Snyders, Snyderists would be like, it's fucking great, it's amazing, even if it is trash.
Sure.
And that'll just cause another war online. Yeah. We'll hear the whole thing, whatever. But you're absolutely right. It's just the one or two. I'm hoping it's great.
Yeah.
Signs are pointing to it right now, and I hope that's the case, because I want Warner Brothers to eat the biggest pile of fucking crow and shit that's imaginable, because you did this man so incredibly fucking dirty at a time which was at his utmost worst in his life. You did him dirty. So I hope you get smacked in the face with something.
Yeah.
Because you more than deserve it. But yeah, so I'm very excited for that. I know there's frustration amongst the aspect ratio and what people are thinking about that and how the film should be portrayed on screen. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't have any negative thoughts to it. I don't have any positive. I'm just kind of accepting what it is. I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is.
Sure.
I don't know. How do you feel on that? You're an aspect guy.
I do wish that it was, because I use IMAX as like a way. I don't want to have to sit there and be like, oh well, 133 aspect ratio or 2.39.1. It's like, that's ridiculous. I don't want to start talking about that. So I use IMAX as saying basically 1080p, like where it feels that it's 16 by 9. And I prefer that especially if I'm watching something at home. But even to the point, an actual IMAX theater is better because, you're still there, but like it wrapping around your head a little bit is more immersive.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what I'm going to miss out, because I'm probably going to watch this movie, sit here in this chair for 4 hours and watch it on a monitor like this. And if it's just a square, I'm much less immersed. But looking at this trailer, a lot of shots are not framed in a way for it to work if you crop it. Like that close-up of Batman's face in the beginning of that final scene of this trailer in the nightmare sequence, his face is the whole shot. And so if you tried to crop it to where you could make it a full screen 16 by 9, it would look funky. And so I don't know necessarily how to think about it, because I get that like everyone that shoots IMAX, it looks like this, and they frame it in a way to where, because they know we're going to crop it. And so it seems like he didn't shoot it to crop it, or at least, because it for damn sure wouldn't work on normal. I mean, a normal widescreen would look crazy for this movie, is just what I'm seeing in this trailer. Is like, there's like, you might fit Joker sitting down on the top of his head in that wide shot of him sitting on the car. Like, he might fit, but like, I don't know. I'm interested to see somebody cut it in a way to where I can see all that. But yeah, I would personally prefer to be able to zoom it in a little bit and whatever. But that's the thing, is like, I saw somebody say, well, maybe there's a zoom in feature on it, like for your screen or on your TV and things like that. And I'm like, well, that's the problem, is you look at something like either of the two Avengers movies we just got, completely shot in IMAX the whole time, but then it's playing on normal screens, and like they have a frame, and on a normal, on an IMAX, that you just have the whole thing. But then if it goes widescreen, the editors move it up to the top or down, or half and half, or whatever. They don't just zoom it straight into the middle. Like, they're not playing the IMAX film and just letting the top and bottom get cut off. So like, the zooming in wouldn't work, because if that's the case, I'm gonna miss a lot. So like, unless it's an actual cut that's made for IMAX screens like that, which would then go to 16 by 9 pretty well, that just won't work. So I do personally wish, I'm just not a fan of black bars, period. So I don't like normal widescreen, and I definitely don't like this. I want the whole screen. I want to be immersed. So but it is a thing of, I wish that I could see this for the first time in a theater, to where none of this matters. This argument is not there. Yeah. So that would be phenomenal, but it's sadly just not the case.
All right. So, and for those of you who don't know, I'll be making a video after this, but I am going to be doing an official live watch along for the Justice League. But as I was also thinking, if you're down for this, we can also make this a little film cave thing, so we can have me and you live watch it if you'd like. Throw it up to you.
Interesting.
Right, and I can work on another special guest. If you were to tag along, I could work on a third. But I would obviously want to see where your head's at to do that. But
Right.
because I'm not trying to chop up no 4-hour fucking movie or figure that out.
That's the thing is I'm going, how are we going to have everybody in a situation where you can have 4 hours? You know, all of it in different time zones, having 4 hours to sit at the same spot. We'd have to plan it pretty well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, this is an event that warrants such things. So I'm like, why not? But we'll see. More details on that later. But as of now, it's certain I'm damn sure doing it. But I may have a few friends along, depending on how shit goes.
Good deal.
We'll see. All right, so I think that's good. Anything more to say on the Snyder Cut? I think it's pretty safe to say we're pretty fucking excited.
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely excited now. As someone who was not like, you know, screaming my head off for this, I'm really interested to see how different this is and what this vision is now. Because it does look like a completely different movie, which I wasn't sure of a year ago. You know, like people are fighting for this, and I'm like, how different can it be? And now I'm looking at this, and I'm like, how retarded was Warner Brothers? Like they threw away that much footage. I'm like, that's insane.
I'm just like, I don't see how anyone questions how it could be the same movie to begin with. We're going from how was Justice League, about an hour and something, maybe 2 to now 4. How could we think that it was the same movie?
It also is a thing of, you know, this 4-hour cut wouldn't have been what got in theaters. They would have made them cut it down like they did with BVS.
Right.
So like, but it's so crazy to me that they literally reshot damn near a whole movie in like 3 months.
Yeah.
To just make like, oh, we need to make a generic Justice League movie. And so like all of a sudden now we have this like nerdy director's cut that's wild as fuck. And like you see director's cuts and sometimes they're amazing. And then sometimes they're like, it's like, oh, that was a lot of extra shit. And this is going to be one that's so different in the sense of like, this is just a different movie.
Yeah.
And so I'm honestly, my hype is up.
Yeah,
my hype is up here because I'm just more interested to see what is this, because that's wild.
Goodness.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I'm excited.
Fucking Granny Goodness was in that bitch too.
She was. And who is playing her?
I have no idea. It looked like Gwendolyn's ass.
Well, no, I saw somebody say it looked like Judi Dench. Like Dame Judi Dench was standing in that thing. That's
one tall ass fucking Judi Dench, if that's the case. Because
can you see more of her than what I'm remembering?
She's tall as fuck.
Okay, let me look. I'll look here in a sec. That's
Dench
funny
like
though.
Gnome.
She's tiny, but
she's fucking cute. That bitch was tall. Christy.
Well, but like she's standing next to two full CG characters. They could do whatever they want in terms of making her height. But I see what you mean though. She is tall. She's supposed to be very tall. So. Right. Gwendolyn Christie would be funny, but she's not a granny.
She's not. But now I want Judi Dench as Granny Goodness.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's kind of like what Kevin Hart's doing with Borderlands and stuff. That's a great actress to go out and get, because I did see somebody say like they pulled a quote and like Judi Dench said like, if the money's right, I never say no to an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like I could definitely see Warner Brothers going like, hey, we're about to throw you 15 mil to dress up as fucking
God. Her cute little self and her little accent being just menacing and just badass.
Oh my God, it'd be crazy, right? God. So yeah, I'm interested.
Absolutely. Oh my God, now I want it.
Yeah.
Now I want it. Zach, you had a missed opportunity, brother.
Because what if it is her?
But she looks young.
Does she?
Yeah.
Okay. She's too blurry to tell. She looks like a granny to me.
I know, that looks like a young ass granny, a hip ass granny too, with her little fucking cut and everything.
Well, it looks like a granny that would fuck me up, is what it looks like. I mean,
or listen, just get Ed Asner, put a fucking wig on him, and call it a day.
What if it was Betty White?
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. I mean,
fantastic.
She can already kick so much ass, so why not?
That's correct.
But all right, y'all. That's gonna do it for this episode of the Film Cave. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on Playback and watching along. Again, if you stuck around for the whole show, if you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, yes, subscribe and keep the conversation going.
Oh, for sure.
Share this video. Let your mama know. Let your grandmama know. Let your chiropractor. Let your whoever you have in your life. Share this video and let them know. Join us here on TikTok, which will be in the description box below. Hit that notification bell to be reminded when we drop our weekly episodes every Wednesday until further notice when we go live. Things may change. Things may be the same. We'll see. You guys will definitely know when that happens.
For sure.
Logan, do you have anything, brother, going on? Anything you want to plug? Since Logan's channel will be in the description box below as well.
I would just say, we've had these weekly WandaVision stuff, and this is definitely if someone for some strange reason hasn't gotten into it, I think this is your last chance to hey, watch them all, get caught up, and let's fucking go.
Right. If you haven't got into it, put the crack down. That's okay.
I don't know how, because I did have a friend came to my house for Super Bowl, and he was like, I'm a big fan of Marvel, but I'm not into Wanda. I haven't watched it. I was like, hey man, you're gonna want to watch this, just so you know. And he's like, he's like, I'm not a big fan of Wanda. I'm like, you're gonna be if you just watch this. That's what the point of this is it's about to change fucking everything.
I've seen some people that are just like, oh, the show's whack. I'm like, you have
I don't know how you think that.
Insane. Like my boy Jody, if you end up watching this, I haven't talked about this yet, bruh. You're fucking insane. I've seen saying how the show's whack. Wait a minute, we need to have a conversation. No. I need to school you. So not only do we need to school you on Infinity War right now, which is long overdue, WandaVision 2, brother. Yeah. You're collecting a rap sheet, and I'm here to collect. Call me dog. All right. I'm about to start hunting. All right. All right.
Oh man.
So all right, but no, still love you, but brother. All right. But yes. But all right, guys, right here. Make sure you subscribe to Logan's channel in the description box below. Make sure you subscribe here
to the dog.
Right. To the dog of YouTube. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, guys, thank you. We love you. It's your boy Knight,
and I'm Logan,
and we'll see you in the cave. Peace.
Later, guys.